poggers, that's why my content lasts longer. Whole chat in this bitch.
It's a really weird time right now, but we hope you're staying safe.
If it's trash, what about
social distancing.
You started a new meta, you just don't know it. Well, I think it's good because, right, I react, right? And I do my natural reactions, right? Like if I was leaving this on AFK, not saying a word and just like eating, I'd understand people's frustration. I'd actually understand it. It's very shameless. But I'm reacting the same as I would watching the video. But if I get to hear his reaction and see if we differ in opinions, right? I think it's kind of fucking cool. And it's kind of cozy having my friend there, right? So I think it's completely fine as long as you're still reacting.
The safety of
talk about their topic, as very comfortable to talk about their
plastic surgery. I got plastic
Hold on, is this gonna be some shit where they show like tits and stuff?
surgery. I got plastic surgery.
I got plastic surgery.
I got plastic surgery.
I got plastic surgery.
I got plastic surgery. I got plastic surgery. I got plastic surgery.
One of them.
This is gonna be some shit, I feel like, where Jubilee purposely is trying to fuck with us. And they got someone that like had plastic surgery at age 1 as a baby, and they had to like, get some sort of like reconstruction like on a cleft lip at age 0 in the womb. And we're not gonna be able to fucking tell, right? And we're all looking at like facial features, if the nose is fucked, if the chin's too big, right? But it's gonna be some like very subtle shit.
Is a liar. If the group discovers who the liar is,
I
they'll
saw
split
that.
the prize.
Jesus.
If the liar survives, they win the entire prize. Who is the odd man out?
I feel like we should say what we've had done, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Rhinoplasty.
Rhinoplasty.
I had buccal fat removal, and I also got lip fillers. When they would look at me, it was kind of like, okay,
What
like
the
they're
fuck
like
is
checking me
buccal
out,
fat
like up and
removal?
down to see like.
Hey chat,
I've
hope
had
you
moles
are all
removed,
staying
and I'm
safe.
Fellow 218, thank you, man. Thanks for the subs, guys. We're almost to 7K.
See like, buccal fat removal, and I also.
Guys, what is buccal fat?
Yeah, I don't know,
lip
X.
fillers. When they would look at me, it was kind of like, okay, like they're like checking me out, like up and down to see like.
I've had moles removed, and I.
This might be the liar already because the lip, I don't see any lip filler here. Like his lips are skinnier than ever. Like I don't see any lip filler at all.
I'm here to remove the moles.
I've had top surgery.
I've had a rhinoplasty.
rhinoplasty.
I had a few. I had rhinoplasty, labiaplasty, and septoplasty.
Rhinoplasty is a form of...
Wait, did you say labiaplasty? So like a pussy reconstruction? So she has kids then, right? I think a lot of people who've had kids have that.
plastic surgery.
Wait, is labia the vagina or is labia bone? No, that's the tibia. No, is the labia a bone or a fucking pussy? Labia is the lips. Oh, like the pussy lip. The lips isn't like pussy lips, right? Wait, hold on. There's tibia. What's the other one? Femur? No, femur's in your arm, isn't it? What are the two bones in the leg? The tibia and the fibia? There's no shot. It's fibia. The fibula? Fuck it.
On your nose. Very common ones include removing the dorsal hump, and other rhinoplasties are to remove nostrils or make the entire nose smaller.
How old was everybody when they got their stuff done?
Mine was 2 years ago, so.
I was 18.
I was 14.
I was 19.
I was in middle school.
22.
24.
8 months ago.
Chat, her nose is still huge.
Okay. Says you.
It's pretty like superficial, but I felt like she just didn't have like.
I think it's Adlad.
He said that he got cheek surgery, and I had just never heard of the cheek surgery before.
I think it's
All right, it's a 3-way tie.
Oh God.
Green, Jasmine, Whisper, and Sage. So each person has.
He says Adlad. No shot.
I was really insecure about how I looked. I used to have chubby cheeks, and I had no lips at all. So it was just stuff that made me feel a lot better. And now I feel like I can actually hold my...
Wait. Buccal fat removal is a plastic surgery procedure for reducing prominent cheeks. Damn, why would you do that? That's fucking awesome, that prominent... I guess it depends what you want, yeah.
And I had no lips at all. So it was just stuff that made me feel a lot better. And now I feel like I can actually hold my head up high. So
good for you.
It's stuff that I need and also my line of work.
I'm a dancer and I was kicked in the face, so my septum shifted. So half of it was to shift my septum back so I could breathe properly. The other half was to remove a bump on my nose. It's still a very large nose. I'm very well aware of that, but it was because of breathing.
Yeah, so I have had precancerous screening since I was 10 years old because my dad died of melanoma skin cancer. So I have had some precancerous moles and I've had them removed via plastic surgery because it can help reduce scarring.
Okay. Why are you voting him out? Why him?
Thank you, guys.
I think they're voting him out for what I said. The lip thing. If you would have just said the buccal fat, I'd understand. But the lip thing, like, because like if you get lip filler, you're gonna have like, or at least there's like a stigma behind it where like you're gonna have these huge lips, right? So maybe he got a slight lip filler and it's not noticeable and people thought he was lying. I don't know.
Bye. Good luck. I probably would have talked about my consultation a
He's also creepy. How's he creepy? I don't think he's creepy at all.
little bit more, and
I think it's kind of good vibes, actually.
experience I had with my doctor and how he made me feel really comfortable.
So a couple people already did it, but I guess we could go around and say why.
Guys, it's always this, not him.
That we did.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Well, I was super insecure about my side profile. I had a dorsal hump.
Guys, he literally cannot, dude. He can't even talk without his listening. It's like stood like that the whole time, man. Like, it's obviously he had something, man. Like, I don't get
I
it.
was super insecure about my side profile. I had a dorsal hump, so I've always like wanted a nose with a little slope.
So I had rhinoplasty and septoplasty. It was mainly for breathing.
With Anna, it wasn't obvious that she had plastic surgery. She seemed knowledgeable, but it just kind of seemed like she was saying the same things that everybody else was saying.
So yeah, I had top surgery. I'm trans. I had very large boobs, so that's like I don't want those anymore. So that's why I did my surgery.
I come from a very Italian family, so it was that very stereotypical like Italian nose. It was a closed procedure, so they went through the inside, shaved off the bump.
If I see any transphobia in chat, you'll be permabanned. I'm letting you know right now. I've stood against transphobia even in the most toxic times of Twitch, before it was like introduced to like mainstream. So like that's just not acceptable at all in my chat. Everyone knows that. We have some moderators that are transgender as well. And listen, hey, let hell loose. Permaban them everywhere.
Changed the tip a little bit, and so now I have the slope nose and all that. Yeah.
The amount of girls who had rhinoplasties there, it was one of us. Anna and Miranda gave...
You know what's crazy about rhinoplasty? My own mom was like, don't worry, Tyler. You know, we will, when you're 18, I will pay for your nose job. I'm like, what do you mean nose job? I'm not getting a nose job. I love my nose. She's like, oh, come here, look, look. No, it'll look better this way. I'm like, no. I'm keeping the fucking nose, okay?
Very, very convincing answers, and Jade's were a little more stereotypical, and honestly the look of her nose, she mentioned she had a dorsal hump removed, but there was still a little bit of a bump there. I'd always been self-conscious of my nose, and I like begged my parents like, no, absolutely not. So I told my parents, how about when you're 18? They're like, sure, if you still want it when you're 18.
XQC says who cares about the bump, but I promise you he's not considered many girls because of a bump or because of something small like that. Right? I think all of us men have, and I think women do the same on the reverse side.
18.
Maybe not.
Don't have a bump,
we can help you pay for it. And I was like, okay. So when I'm 18,
yeah, you don't have a bump, X. You got a whole fucking mountain.
I'm like, I'm ready, and they're like, oh, seriously? We didn't think like you'd actually want that, and I was like, no, I do. So I went ahead and got it.
The first one was kind of like yours. It was more correctional, and a lot of people don't know what labiaplasty is.
Do I have a dorsal bump?
Dorsal bump. This guy got a fucking mountain range on his fucking nostrils.
Surgery on your vaginal area to tighten the skin. I ended up getting rhinoplasty 2 years later, and that was kind of more for just...
See, I'm beginning to feel like she might actually be the one that hasn't gotten it, only because I feel like usually a follow-up with labiaplasty, which isn't the case always, but I feel like she would add in at least, I've had 3 kids, so I decided to get a labiaplasty, and once that's said, it's done, right? No one's coming after her.
Cosmetic reasons. I was in pageants, and I just wanted to have a better look and feel more confident.
I think especially in this environment when everyone could relate to some kind of plastic surgery, it was very non-judgmental, and I think over the years I've been a lot more like comfortable talking about it.
For those of you who had to
she
like
has a
pay out of
trunk,
pocket,
though.
how much did it end up costing you all?
Insurance covered some of it, but my parents did pay between 8 and 10K.
What was covered by insurance?
Jesus!
Labiaplasty is nothing that kids usually. Oh, does it not? I thought usually like any sort of pussy reconstruction has to do with like after you have like 2 or 3 kids, people get it. That was what I was on about. But if that's not the case, if you're just getting it for yourself, oh, okay, that's fine. My bad.
The breathing part, because my septum was shifted, so I
get filler put in because the revision didn't fix what it was supposed to fix. But
oh yeah, she's
the initial procedure, it was $9,000.
How long did you wait before you got the revision?
So I got the first one summer before I went to freshman year in high school, and then I got the revision winter break of my senior year. So
Wait, so she said she got a nose job freshman year of high school? Do doctors even do that? Isn't that too young? Isn't your nose like still growing until like 19 or some shit? I mean, I'm pretty sure nose grows till the end of time, but like, isn't that too young?
Yeah.
Yeah, I paid out of pocket $4,500 for mine.
I always thought you had to have a lot of money to have plastic surgery.
You do.
And I always thought plastic surgery was cosmetic too. I didn't know.
Didn't they want to shave your face down in high school? No, it was a very ignorant doctor. I went to a doctor and I was like feeling sick, and the doctor like pulled my mom aside in front of me, and my mom fortunately defended me and like freaked out on him. It was like it was this Arizona extremely like just closed-minded doctor, and like he pulled my mom aside and I could hear him, and he was like, your son has protruding bone structures that could cause like various things in the future. What I'd like to do with him is put him under and shave these bone structures down to make them less. And when he said offensive, he didn't mean like offensive like in language. He meant like the like medical terminology, like protruding. And my mom like freaked out. I was like, what the fuck? Like, fuck you. Like, she just went off on him, and then I left. But yeah, it was like the doctor wanted to shave down my bone structure that was like coming, that's more like aggressive. It was really like, I don't know why the fuck he has this viewpoint, but
Know that it was also correctional.
I was still under my parents' insurance when I did it, and I don't know actually how much it was.
How old were you? I don't know. Maybe 18, 17, 18, 19.
I know it was partially covered because I had the septo and the rhino together.
Anna had said
the same thing actually. My mom's defended me on a lot of things like that. Like, I have a lot of memories. There was one time I was sleeping over at my friend's house. It was my best friend. We were like, I think we were like 10 years old. And I don't know if this is normal for you guys, but at 10, you know, when we had sleepovers, we'd sleep in the same room, right? We'd be in the same room, sometimes, you know, next to each other in the same bed, right? And my friend's mom was like, she was known around like the community as like really fucking crazy. Like, she was crazy, like just absolute crazy shit. And I remember when I was leaving one time, she pulled my mom aside, and I didn't hear any of this. I was told it by my mom later when we got home. She pulled my mom aside and said something along the lines of, you know, I'm going to tell you this. I walked in today and our sons were sleeping in the same bed. I don't know what they were doing, but it was inappropriate. I think they might be gay together. And my mom like freaked out on her, saying like, even if they were, what does that matter? And also like, that's just sick. They're young, they're friends, they're just sleeping over. Like, why are you thinking like that? And she just went off on her. And I remember like that friendship was very awkward because like, since like when the parents refused to talk, like you can't really hang out with your friend when you're like 10 or 11, right? So it was just this like, it was just like this weird situation where like, every time I did go over there afterwards, it's like, fuck, like what's his mom thinking of us when we're like in the room? And it made a lot of sense because like when I thought back on it, she wouldn't ever let us like close the door. We would always have to keep the door wide open, always come and checking on us. Like just this weird thing. She was batshit. She was fucking batshit. Everyone knew it, so.
Some of it was covered by insurance and some of it wasn't. I was just like, okay, but like, how long ago was that? When did you get your surgery? When'd you recover? It wasn't quite lining up in my head.
No assurance and covered it, and it was 10 grand. Literally since like high school, my first job. Saved up. Yeah, little by little.
That's a lot saving up.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a stigma with plastic surgery?
Oh yeah.
Like in culture that people think that you're vain if you've had it?
Oh yeah. For sure. Yes. Yeah. Especially like cosmetic reasons. Yeah.
No shit.
I'm lost.
Guys, what are you guys saying? They, them, what happened? Who said that?
Literally since like high school, my first job. Saved up. Yeah, little by little.
That's a lot saving up.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a stigma with plastic surgery?
More?
Oh yeah.
Like in culture that people think that
Insurance and some of it wasn't. I was just like, okay.
Oh, that,
but like,
who cares?
how long ago was that? When did you get your surgery? When did you recover? It wasn't quite lining up in my head.
No assurance and covered it, and it was 10 grand. Literally since like high school, my first.
I feel like she's either she's the mole or she's the mole. I'm stuck between her, and her right now.
Job. Saved up. Yeah, little by little.
That's a lot saving up.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a stigma with plastic surgery?
Oh yeah.
Like in culture that people think that you're vain if you've had it?
Oh yeah. For sure. Yes. Yeah. Especially like cosmetic reasons. Yeah.
I'm lost.
I just like.
Yeah, Jade's done.
The reason like I'm stuck on her is because I feel like, okay, so like if the labia reconstruction was for like the kids thing, which you guys are telling me it's not, and she didn't say it was, then it's obviously for herself, right? But I feel like if you're like insecure, about your vagina and you want it to look differently, that's like for you and for whoever, right? I feel like her saying, and then two years later she did her nose. I feel like it'd be the other way around. Don't you think, like, if you were like trying to like correct what you think, looks good for yourself, wouldn't you do nose first and then vagina after? Right? I don't know. We'll see.
Surgery.
Oh yeah.
Like in
And then for her, I feel like everyone here is kind of just like they came like casual, just confident in themselves, right? Like, I guess it doesn't mean that you're not confident if you put makeup on, but the girl on the right came like fully dolled up, which I think is like, right? The stereotype of like plastic surgery is like super dolled up, makeup, like different color hair, style, fashion, right? So I feel like it's trying to throw us off as if she's had it. So that's why I'm on her a little bit.
Culture that people think that you're vain if you've had it.
Oh yeah. For sure. Yes. Yeah. Especially like cosmetic reasons. Yeah.
I'm lost.
Yeah, Jade's done.
Who's Jade? Which one's Jade?
Hi guys. Holy moly, y'all. A lot of people probably don't know about cosmetic surgery on moles. I think
it makes sense.
They saw me moling, and
I didn't think removing a mole was plastic surgery, because I've had a mole removed on my neck when I was like fucking like 16 or some shit.
they hating.
Raise your hand if you think and you would like to.
Shut the fuck up.
I feel like it's too soon.
I do. I don't know what to do.
So who would you say like supported you the most through your recovery?
My mom.
Yeah, me too.
Wait a second. She didn't want to raise her hand. Everyone else did. She didn't want to. If she wants the game to end, which means she wins. But that's the only read I have on her.
My mom slept in my room for the whole first week because I was just in agony and not sleeping. I always say she's like an angel for doing that.
Yeah,
so.
that's how I feel too.
Thanks, Mom.
I did mine behind my mother's back. I didn't want them to know. I didn't want anybody to know.
Did you tell other people in your life? Or no, was it just...
Not till after, because I didn't have as much support going in. I didn't want them to know that I was getting it done. I didn't want them to try to stop me. I just didn't want the negative stigma to convince me not to do it. So it was something I did independently on my own.
My parents were incredibly supportive. They didn't love that I was getting the surgery at first, especially with the whole Jewish identity. Making your nose smaller and getting rid of the bump is just kind of erasing your Jewish culture, which they really...
Okay, chat, you guys answer me, dude. Okay, okay, now that you guys are gonna ask, I'm gonna ask you. Okay, chat. Okay, as I am getting educated, okay, guys, as a question, dude. If okay.
I don't know if I believe her that much right now. I don't know if I believe her that much. Like, you didn't want, right? You did it behind parents' back. You didn't want the stigma to change your mind. But I feel like if you're making those big of changes to yourself, you are sure of it. You want it done, right? Like that's kind of like what I figured, right? Like people who usually like go through with it, they are sure of it, no matter what anyone says. I don't know.
I'm done.
Really weren't pleased with, but once I got the surgery, they're very loving people, so they supported me.
I get that.
It's not the live because chat is got okay. If somebody says I'm they them when you talk to them, what do you say? You say, hey they.
It is no, like, to be fair, for his part, it is confusing sometimes because it's like it sounds to you like logically that the sentence wouldn't make sense, right? But like you just go through it anyways, right? You just do it anyways to make them feel comfortable. But like I understand, like, you know, when it's new, you're trying to think of like, you know, like, does that make sense? Like, so like for example, if you're talking about one person, instead of saying like, is he this, you would say, are they comfortable with coming with us, right? And it sounds like you're talking about plural, but you'd be referring to the individual, or is they coming with us? I don't know. Would you change it to are they for the plural, or would you keep it as is they in order to represent this? I don't know.
I'm done. This chat, I can't.
You say yikes, but this is like, we're teaching people, right? Like you can't, listen, as long as people are willing to be open-minded and learn, I think you should embrace that and teach. But if you just want to say yikes and not answer the question, in a way, you're actually perpetuating the very thing that you believe that you're open-minded about yourself, right? Like, it's very stupid, in my opinion, to do that.
One of my cousins asked me that, like, well, if you have kids and they have a bump on their nose, are you going to tell them they need to change it? And I was like, no. I think there's like this.
Get off Hossy's nuts. I could tell you're a new viewer because if you were one of my core viewers, you'd know since 2016, I've been very vocal about trans rights and keeping an open mind. And that's a fact. So the fact that you think, standing up for movements that are right, standing up for people, is hopping on a political bandwagon actually says more about your shitty character than it does anything else. Do you understand? There are certain things in life that are just, in my opinion, that they're just right? That they're just the right thing to do, and it's the right thing. But if you attach these things that should be objectively correct to some sort of political agenda, then you're just a piece of shit. So you can suck my dick, buddy. You know what? I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to permaban you. You can suck my dick and take your 2-month sub somewhere else.
This balance between embracing who you are and also recognizing that, like, if you change something, it's going to give you this much more confidence. And yeah, do that. Like, there's no judgment.
I just fucking hate that, right? Like, if you stand up for something that is right, you have to be sucking someone else's dick, right? Then if you don't do it, you know that same motherfucker's going to make a hate thread saying this guy's closed-minded. It's like they're creating a situation where they want you, like, they're just, I hate pieces of shit like that. I hate it.
My mom, for sure. She's the one who, like, took care of me. Like, everyone knew, but my dad doesn't. Still doesn't. I mean, he will now. I literally was going to send him a link to this, but, because, like, in his eyes, I'm his daughter, I'm beautiful. Like, he didn't want me to ever do that, So I couldn't. I was too scared to tell him.
Would you guys say it affected your life in any way? Like, changed anything?
I mean, like, confidence, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
For me, it was just, like, being trans, too. Like, again, I grew up in Michigan, and that wasn't a thing. So, like, it was...
I kind of get the Weekend vibes, dude.
Coupling with, like,
I get the Weekend vibes.
And also, like, coming out as trans. But now I'm like, I'm look amazing. Like, let's go to the beach or something.
You do look amazing.
I think I used to be a little more judgmental with, like, oh, like, why do you wear, like, so much makeup every single day?
She reminds me of Jenna a little bit.
But, like,
you know what I'm talking
other
about?
people's choices, when it comes to self-confidence, I feel a lot more empathetic towards. Because the pain it took to, like, go through that and, like, making that decision for myself, it took a lot, and I understand that people are going to go to, like, extreme...
Zero, tier 1, thank you. Ninja Muffin, tier 1, 5, thank you. Taco, thank you. Humanoid, thank you. PSI, thanks to Twitch from 8.
It's a very hard thing to tell. Mine was pretty typical rhinoplasty story, so I was like, okay, well, makes sense.
Raise your hand if you're certain that the mole is still in the box and you would like to continue.
I don't know. It's like I was second guessing myself. In my gut, I felt like Anna could possibly be a mole, and I started.
Yeah, I think it's the very right then.
Miranda,
if she's not sure, then I think it's the very right.
She was supposed to throw us off. She had the perfect, or the typical plastics. Oh, ooh, that sounds bad.
If the lights turn green, if the lights turn red, the mole is still in the box.
I think it might be her.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Oh, they got her.
Yeah, she went once.
Thank you for not lying.
0 with the 5 gifted. Thank you.
Step forward.
I knew it.
I'm like, you're all.
I was right. In the beginning, you made me feel bad.
Yeah.
Just all of their eyes on me. I was just like a science project, you know, and they were just.
I lose.
I feel like I had my facts down. I was ready to get specific too. It's just they didn't buy mine.
Make it rain.
The lip filler just didn't make sense to me.
Oh my god. I'm so proud of us. Damn.
No one's gonna dispute me being trans. I mean, I knew that signing up for it. I was like, this is like my one to be in. Like, I knew that I would get to the end.
After all that work.
It was hard.
This is crazy. Damn, dude.
Get to the end.
After all that work.
It was.
That's a full beard.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, we feel like I won the lottery. Even though I'm such a proponent of like, there's no like look to being someone with plastic surgery, I definitely like learned to challenge my own beliefs and like judgments, because I was definitely looking people like, okay, who looks like they've had plastic surgery, where
How do I get one of those beards?
Reevaluated that a lot.
Because it's not always
Sheesh, I need a beard too, low-key.
about changing
She's
how
pretty.
the world sees you, but it's about being comfortable in the body that you're in.
I think that people
Okay.
think that people who get plastic surgery.
What time is it? So we have.